a lot of questions about how to handle this fast drying paint. I use water-based acrylic wall paint. They're all just maxed out with one pigment. So this is a yellow base that comes stock from Sherwin-Williams that is just a yellow. This is a dark blue, but it's from Home Depot, and it's an interior satin sheen acrylic paint, and it has about 12 ounces of blue tint, and I just asked them to put their blue tint, 12 ounces of the blue tint in a deep base. And then this is the same thing, maxed out with tint. It's just a quart of the same kind of paint as the blue. This is a Color to Go quart from Sherwin-Williams, same thing, maxed out with magenta. So I just asked for these tints all by themselves. What I want to show you is how to do, you can see I've got a lot of complex gradients going on, and this is just the first layer. I always have a basic layer that I do just to get things mapped out where I want them, and then I come back to fine tune the details on a second coat. Usually I need 2 coats anyway, because this paint sometimes doesn't cover 100% with just 1 coat. This gradient's looking pretty good so far. I'm losing a lot of my blue at this point. It's getting kind of gray looking, so I start going like this, and then it's like, oh man, that's a little bit too much blue. Meanwhile, the paint is drying on me, and this is a problem. Okay, I'm going to get to the point where I'm really frustrated, and then I'm going to email Mural Joe to ask what in the heck happened. Okay, and then I need to fade down to a light yellow right here, so you just add some white. Like this. Right, and I'm trying to work fast because my paint is drying quickly. I'm like, oh crap, it's drying quickly. Faster than I can. Too faster. It's drying faster than I can blend it. Okay, then I'm going to put yellow on here because I know I want to put this, but I need a light yellow, so let's get back into white right here. You know, like this. Alright, so then I start putting this on, and I'm like, oh crap, that's turning green. I don't want green on this. I want it to have that nice blend to white. Meanwhile, this is all tacky, and this isn't blending very well right here. So then, as a last resort, I'll start using something besides a paintbrush to try to make it look better. I mean, this is frustrating, right? So let me show you the solution. So the question is, how do you blend it? It dries so fast. I work with 2 colors at a time, do that gradient, and then let it dry all the way, move to another one, and match it up. So I need to be able to match colors. So now, magenta I happen to know is my slowest drying color. I'm going to put this one on. I've got this little piece here. So these little shapes are this magenta color on the inside. Get more of this magenta. Now if I have too much at any point, I'll just find a paint lid or something and dab it on there. Or just somewhere on the wall. Oh whoops, I don't want it up there. If you have excess paint, you know, it's nice to have a towel. Or just wipe it on the wall. Okay, I'll put this down here. Okay, the next color I need is the blue. And I have some extra magenta on my brush still, so I'll just get rid of it over here where I know I'm going to paint over it. Okay, I'm going to bring the colors down. I'm not worrying about blending them just yet. I'm going to get the colors in place first. I think one of the most common hang-ups that people have is not having enough paint on the surface. But now that I've got plenty of paint here, I can start blending it. Okay, I want a light blue here. And then it's going to blend this dark purple color on the edge. I'm going to draw my shape, bring it down. This dark purple color really does have probably the most forgiveness of all the colors. It just doesn't dry as fast as the others. So that I don't get too much purple up here when I add white, I'm going to clean my brush. So I just a little bit in the water, dab it on this towel, and then go for the white again. Put some white up here. And if it's too much white, I can just get rid of it somewhere. Okay, I'm liking this shade of blue right here. I'm liking this highlight that I have. Now the next thing is I need to set this up to start going to a yellow without it turning green. So what I need to happen is for it to turn white. I don't even care about that yellow underneath right now. I just want to end on white, regardless of how far it goes. Now, in order to blend this without losing my blues, I got to clean the brush. So I get this towel, I get some of that white out of there, and then I can start blending across this. See? And I'll do that over and over. I'll keep dabbing it off. This really is starting to dry quickly on me. So I have to get this done and get off of this. So now I have this gradient, and it's going to get more complex because now I'm going to add yellow in here, and it's not just fading straight, it's fading in this curved pattern. So I'm going to start by matching the color I left off on. So when I do big pictures of skies, things that I do gradients, I have this same strategy of knowing exactly what color I left off on. I try to take all of the guesswork out of my paintings. So, you know, I'm kind of a control freak. And you can see that I started going a little bit too high with this white. So, you know, I should not have done that. So now, my yellow is not going to turn green because it's not mixing. It's not mixing with the blue. I have that nice light yellow, and I'll show you how to make yellow meet. If this blue is still a little bit wet, the way I make yellow meet blue without turning green is to add red in between. So see this real orangey color they've got on here? If I start putting that here, right where that white is, see I put too much white and moved it up there, and that blue is still a little bit wet. So now where this blends, it's not going to turn green because you can't make green if you're adding red. Oh, yeah. Let's add more blue. This is a good demonstration now. Now you see me running into a problem. Wherever it's tending to turn green, you have to add red. Red is the green killer. They're opposite on the color wheel. See how it's just creating this gray tone? And then I'll move it up here and then maybe try to fade that down. Now I'm going to clean my brush and add white. I want it to have that nice bright tone in the middle. And the tone. Now, if this whole thing went south on me, which it often does, you know, I run into these pickle situations all the time, I just have to let it dry and do it again. But the thing is, I know exactly what this color is. I know what I left off on. And what I'm trying to show you is that you isolate the gradients one at a time. You don't try to tackle everything all on the same stage. So you need knowledge of what colors make what colors first, and then you need a plan. My plan was I'm going to do the magenta to the blue in the middle, and then if I still have time I'm just going to add the white highlight. But even if I didn't have that time and it dried, then I would just isolate it even more, and I would just do a smaller area here, you know, and I would mimic the exact same process because I know exactly what colors. You got to take the guesswork out of it, so that you're not doing this big fandangled situation here where you're just trying to take it as it goes while it's drying too fast on you. Well, I got a long way to go on this flower, so I'm going to do all of these little, I don't know what you call these things. These things sticking out. I'm going to finish this thing up.